Hey guys, I'm Soul King. Welcome back to another Professional video. Today we are back with another episode. Well, not another episode. We're actually here with the first time ever episode of a new series. It's just first impressions. I'm going to be doing first impressions of video games, but this one is actually a re-first impressions. A re-first impressions of a game called New World, which is a game that came out in, what is it? What was it? Probably either late 2020 to earlier 2021, maybe a little bit later, somewhere in that time period. It was during COVID. Um, uh, this was a game that I was extremely excited for. Played the beta, played the launch, um, started multiple characters throughout that time. Got to play the game, was very excited for it. Ended up not being that happy with it. Very disappointing game. Um, Lots of problems with it being basically a walking simulator, having quests start on one side of the world and end on the other, and then having to run all the way back. A lot of the problems that have already been said about the game, I had with the game. So now with new updates coming and the game being redone and being fixed to an extent, I decided to give the game 2 hours to see if it can pull me back in, see if it can keep my interest, see how we feel. 2 hours. I know that doesn't seem like a lot of time, but that's the time I got. You know what I mean? Still gotta edit this shit. Um, so what actually happened? It's actually an hour and 45 minutes. You'll notice. Um, my Wi-Fi started having issues towards the end of the stream, and I got fucked on by Wi-Fi. So it only ended up being about an hour 45, but it was enough time for me to give some really good opinions and get a really good idea for the game. Now, another problem that's with this audio, well, with this video, is some of the footage doesn't have audio because I forgot to hook my mic up to OBS. I thought it was already hooked up to OBS, but it wasn't apparently. So, with the help of chat, I was able to figure out that I wasn't heard for most of the video, and I was like, shit, I'm not restarting this, so I guess I'll have to talk over it. So I'm gonna go ahead and become voiceover me here shortly, and yeah, so this video shouldn't be too long. It should probably be about 10-minute long video. So without further ado, let's just get right. All right, so we start off with a little opening cinematic, and we come into the character customization. Now I don't. The customization, I mean, the textures and all look really good. Um, like these textures and stuff, they look good and it all looks great. But I just feel like there's room for more. Maybe some sliders to fix up the face a little bit so you don't have all your characters look the same. Some height sliders, maybe a bulk slider would be nice. I mean, because it looks kind of funky when you have this kind of skinny athletic dude, swinging around a hammer 2 times his own size, and it'd be nice to maybe make your character look a little bit closer to its class. Give it more bulk, give him more size, or make him smaller, or whatever. But all in all, I mean, it does what it needs to, but it definitely could use some work in the making your character feel unique. Now, I call my guy Skullos Thorson because he's a Viking, and I'm a nerd, so let me get this other cinematic, and we go into a short queue. I played on the High Pop server, so a lot of people seem to be coming back to this game. We go through this tutorial bit here, showing you how to attack and how to move around the world. Basic MMO tutorial stuff. You eat your first ration and you clear out some mobs. Game really just shows you how to, basically how to do the basic skills of the game. Jumping. I actually really like the parkour mechanics. I wish they were a little bit more free, But with what they do have in the game so far, it is pretty good. You're gonna see me playing around with the different menus here. The auto run, I do enjoy having the auto run. I wish it was more auto pathing, especially with the amount of running around there is in the game. I kind of wish there was just an auto path button and you could, just take your hands off the keyboard for a second and relax while you walk. Then you come into this fight here. It took a second to load in the boss. I don't know what was the problem here, but you see me running back and forth for quite some time. Then we take on the Captain Thorpe guy. We fight him, lose, get fucking beaten. Kind of a trope where in the opening parts of a game you lose and then lose. So then we go through this, and here's where we get to choose our new weapon. I really liked how early we got this choice, and I don't remember getting this choice prior. It used to be you had the sword and the shield until you picked up a new weapon. So here's me trying to figure out where the fuck the inventory was and what the inventory button was. Pretty intuitive. The hammer, oh my goodness, this hammer is so, it feels so good to use. There's just so much power behind it. You just have so much, it's so heavy, and just the way the movement is, it's really, really nice. I go for a strength dex build with constitution. Strength dex constitution build. Ended up making my character pretty tanky in this 2 hours. It made me feel like I could face tank a lot of the opposition, and I only died once, and it was towards the end, which could also be contributed to the to my Wi-Fi going bonkers. So more strength and dex. And see, I'm already doing about 65 damage per strike. I think heavy was close to the 100 mark. But doing some pretty good damage this early on in the game, and, yeah, and the rewards definitely seem better than they were before. Before, the big problem with the game was you would basically cross the world to turn in a quest, and then you would just get shit rewards. But so far, it seems like we got pretty good rewards. And here, I promote the stream on my Snapchat. I tried to cut some of it, but some of it did stay in. So, we move around. We do the opening quest, where you collect notes, the captain's logs from around the beach. Fighting these skeletons did feel really good. I do like these mobs in particular. We're going to speed up a little bit more here. One thing that I find kind of weird is that you don't get access to both your weapons right away. And I feel like getting access to both of those would be nice because of how far behind your secondary weapon is already going to be at a disadvantage being 10 levels behind. So that's a little weird to me. Here I try the musket. Now the musket, it's a really cool concept, being able to shoot things from that far away. I also use the axe here as a secondary until I get the spear, which is what I use as my main secondary. So we come through here, we take on a boss. I get 2 hammer drops, which is kind of annoying. Neither of them better than the one I had. Kill that boss. I remember that boss having a drop for a spear, but I could be wrong. You go through here, and we get to our first major city, and to maybe one of the most tedious parts of the game, running around trying to figure out where everything in the city is. Running back and forth between different vendors and stuff. Now, I know something like this is necessary to show you around the area and what's going on, so you don't get lost, and so you know what's going, like, where everything is and needs to be. and where you need to go to get certain stuff. I know this isn't necessary, but it's still very tedious. This is the introduction to your wood gathering skills and skinning and mining. A very good way to show it off here. You get to craft some things and show some of the professions. Now, from what I've heard, I did not get to mess with it at all during this 2-hour period. But from what I have heard, the economy in New World has gotten so much better. It's almost like unrecognizable. So I'd like to see how that does going forward. Here you can see we make our first camp. Following the quest. Continue doing some hunting quests. The game really has a good flow to it at this point. I'm definitely not disappointed in the game as much as I was. I mean, I had a lot of fun doing these quests and just kind of running around. And yeah, so yeah, that's New World. Now there's a little bit more footage that I think got cut out. But that's okay. We got a basic gist of the game, and I got to show off some cool stuff and give some criticism. There's still a lot of stuff that I think needs work in the game. I didn't get through, the video doesn't go through the 2 hours, but it got through some of the most exciting parts. Now, I think the game still, once again, has a lot of work to be done. I want to see more from it, more from the game in general. I'd like to see more customization is a big thing, especially now the weapon customization is actually really cool, and I like the being able to swap freely between your abilities and to be able to switch on the fly to a new weapon, or to change your stat total. That's really nice just to have. So you know, if you decide, one day you're like, man, you know, I'm kind of sick of running hammer spear. I want to switch to an intelligence build, and I want to, you know, grind the gear out for that. You can, and you're kind of encouraged to stay on one character instead of having 30, 45 alts, you know, and that is really cool because having that free agency is a really great way to give the player more freedom, I guess. Character customization could really use a revamp. The combat's really good. It's just really good. I wish there was more buttons. I wish there was like more. Wish you could have more abilities. Combos would be cool. And yeah, so once again, I have not experienced the end game content or any of that stuff. I can't say anything about that. But the starting experience has definitely changed for the better. And I know once again they're about to bring in a rework for the entire 1 to 25, like the entire leveling from 1 to 25. It's going to be completely revamped, and I probably should have waited to do this video till then, but I was really excited to give New World another try. Now, I want to do more of these videos because I think they're really fun, and it's a really good way for me to look at different video games that I haven't tried before, or to look back at games that I have tried in the past, but, you know, maybe was disappointed by or didn't like as much. So, the next video will probably be on Destiny 2, because I am currently in the process of reinstalling that game. So, Destiny 2 is probably one, and if you guys have any suggestions of games I should try for these first impressions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll give it a try. I'll see what we can do. So, without further ado, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and get down in that description and check out my Instagram, my Twitter, my TikTok, and yeah, we'll see you guys in a bit. Peace out. Nope, that's the wrong button.